Welcome back to the Captain's Log. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Eric.
For the next half an hour, Eric and I are going to talk about as many news stories from the last 3 weeks as humanly possible. We have a bazillion trailers, Eric.
Do you want to shoot through them real fast?
We have stuff. Yes, I do. I want to shoot through them real fast. Mm-hmm. What? What is your point? What?
I just meant the trailers. Like, are we just gonna like rapid fire the trailers?
Yeah, we're just gonna say what they were. We're not even gonna comment on them. We're just gonna be like, and this trailer. And if you're not aware, we got another trailer for The Predator. What do we think about it? Who cares? Just watch it.
Why don't you tell us what you think?
Yeah, why don't you leave it in the comment? Yeah, this is going to be the single most clickbaity
Why do
video
we have to do all the
we've
work
ever
here?
made. Yeah. We're just reporting the news. Okay, reporting the news is supposed to be unbiased. We're just gonna report the news. No, this is supposed to be biased. This is not a news show. Anyway, yes, sometimes
it's a captain's
sometimes
log.
we just want to change things up a little bit, but make it a totally different thing, but keep the titles the same. We're going back 3 weeks. It's going to feel like an eternity. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be Mysterio in the Homecoming sequel.
Excited!
We all know this now. We're very excited about it. He's a good pick. I'm surprised that we're going with that young of a Mysterio. We'll see what that's like. And I hope it's not too much of a carbon copy of the Vulture thing. Like, I like the idea...
Being younger makes me think it won't be.
Well, me too, but it would be... But also, we could be casting that way to make it look less like we're doing exactly the same thing. I imagine that the Spider-Man villains are all going to have the street level, we were just trying to get by in the government or a corporation screwed us thing in common. I think a lot of them are going to be that way. And I think he very well could be another one of those.
We will see. I'm super excited. Mysterio's my favorite Spider-Man villain, probably.
Are you surprised that's what we're doing, though? Because I figured that would be the next one.
I always hope he is, but
okay.
Like, I wouldn't have thought we would do Vulture before we did Mysterio.
Well, that wasn't a huge surprise just because we almost did him in 4.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't have thought we would do Sandman before Mysterio. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like
sure.
I think of him, like, when you do the Pantheon of Spider-Man villains, he's, like, at the bottom of the top tier.
But I've always liked him a lot.
Yeah. The thing I'm most excited for is I love their Vulture redesign. I'm so interested to see what their Mysterio redesign looks like.
Of course.
I'll be a little disappointed if it's the ultimate one. Like, I like that look with the steamy head, but, like, I want to see them make the fishbowl head look cool.
It's got to be a fishbowl. It's got to be a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Some of this is stuff that I've talked about on the Captain's Log, so I'm not going to spend a lot more time on it, but you can weigh in if you want to. I told you about Lindelof and his cryptic talk about Watchmen being set in present day, and in his HBO show.
Everything that happened to Watchmen happened, but it's not a sequel.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. There are different ways to read it. Some people are making assumptions. I don't think you can make it until we actually see the show.
If I hired him, I would have in the contract you are not allowed to speak to anyone.
Yeah, well, and exactly. Part of the reason I'm responding to this way and saying I don't trust anything he's saying beyond I buy its present day. Mm-hmm. That's probably true. Mm-hmm. That's about what I buy. And that it won't be exactly the same story. Like, I buy that too. But he said weird things with Lost that just weren't true or didn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. And
it's not a remake, it's a remix. We're telling a similar story, but the things in the original story really, they happened. Unless it's a multiverse thing.
Yeah.
He says things in that interview that are contradictory.
Sort of, unless he means something else and he's just not giving enough context. And I've said this before.
He's probably articulating himself.
Yeah, he does. And this was written. He wrote a letter. That's where this came from.
He's not a
wasn't
bad writer.
Even an off-the-cuff thing. No, he's not. I like Lindelof, generally speaking. But he was like, yeah, it's from a writer. But he was like, he lists out all these things from Watchmen, you know, like Veidt does this Veidt thing, and then these people die.
Dr. Manhattan kills Rorschach.
Dr. Manhattan kills Rorschach. But when he says that, it's impossible to know if he's talking about in that continuity, or if he means we already did that in stories, we don't need to do exactly that again. He could be meaning that, and a lot of people are assuming that that means that it is a sequel. He just won't say that it's a sequel. You can't make that assumption. Yeah. You didn't get enough context to say that it's not what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what that series is going to be like. Lindelof originally didn't want to do it. He was in the camp of there's no reason to try to tell that story again. And when he found out that apparently they didn't want to just adapt Watchmen, he was like, well, I'll do something with those characters, I guess. I don't know if I should be more or less excited based on that. I mean, I'm glad it won't just be a carbon copy of that story.
Bet she doesn't bring back the comedian.
What do you mean?
I bet she doesn't bring the comedian back to life.
I don't know why you're saying that.
Doomsday Clock.
Just because Doomsday Clock did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet she has respect for that material.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that's why you said that.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but also he could just have the comedian there and it's a totally different thing.
That's true.
I just don't know what he's doing. Anyway, it's weird. Krypton got renewed. So we'll see what that's...
We weren't sure if that was going to happen.
We were, yeah. We'll see if anybody watches the second season. I'm surprised it got renewed. I'll be surprised if it gets renewed again. But I don't have anything to add about that season so far because I haven't gone back to it. But I will.
You got Cloak and Dagger to watch, man.
Yeah, that's right. I sure do. Mm-hmm. I like Cloak and Dagger at least as much as I like Krypton. I think. I don't know. That's controversial. We haven't talked about James Mangold doing Boba Fett. That feels like news from forever ago. But
I'll see that one.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
He seems like the right guy for that. That's
absolutely.
Pretty darn cool.
Yep. Super excited.
Yay.
Ready for it.
All right. We are motoring. We are basically just saying things that happen.
Oh, no. We never segued to the Solo review.
The Solo review?
Yeah. That you shot with Dan?
Oh, that's not a big deal. I mean, it's been up for so long.
Oh, is it already up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was going to be in the omnibus.
No, we posted it.
Okay, never mind.
People have been watching
it. I'll look at our channel.
Yeah, Eric does as little work as humanly possible here at Geekvolution. So I talked on the Captain's Log somewhat at length about the Jamie Foxx casting with Spawn, and said that it's hardly news because McFarlane has been teasing that forever, and we knew that there was an actor that was in talks with him a long time ago for Spawn, and people speculated it was Jamie Foxx, and he did that thing where he didn't confirm or deny it. It was really obvious that that's who it was. So I got messages a lot the day that news came out, and I was like, yeah, I kind of knew that.
And I also don't know why it has to be Jamie Foxx because he said Spawn has almost no dialogue, and I assume will be in costume for most of the time. I assume Spawn will be CG. Like, the way he talked about him, looming in the background, I assume Spawn would be CG.
He almost doesn't expect a costume. I would think he almost wouldn't even need to be, you mean an actor. He almost...
Well, yeah, an actor or a costume.
Oh, you mean like a physical costume?
Yeah. I was expecting an entirely CG Spawn who just loomed in the background.
You were expecting almost like a slasher film character where it doesn't even matter who
talks about him.
Who's in the costume necessarily. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, not to say that people don't give good performances that don't have dialogue. You just do need an A-list actor.
It's very strange that he cast an A-list actor in a film that we've told is not about Spawn. Spawn is in the background and has very few lines of dialogue.
Well, I would assume so. It's for a couple reasons. One is more of a I don't know. One is maybe if I can buy what McFarlane's saying, just McFarlane giving a job to a guy that wanted it, because according to him, Jamie Foxx. Well, actually, according to Jamie Foxx, now that I think about it, he was lobbying for that role years ago. So
he's not a bad casting.
He's always wanted to play.
It's just weird with the movie that he's told us about for 15 years.
It's not Al Simmons, so that's weird. They're changing his name. I'm sure because of the legal issues with the real Al Simmons.
Yeah.
With his book.
Do we know what the new name is, or just that they're not using it?
Yeah, I forget what it is. It's so weird. They gave us just a last name, and the article I read had the last name as if they had given us the name earlier, but they never did, so I wasn't even totally sure if... I'm taking that with a grain of salt. I don't even know if that's really what it is. We'll find out. But whatever. Anyway, so... but I think the other reason is because McFarlane probably thinks that a name will help sell the movie.
Sure. Malcolm Simons, the new Spawn.
And Fox is real hit or miss in the projects he picks.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, if he really wants that role, he was going to play it regardless of what the script was, probably. So I'm not saying that says for sure that it's good.
And he's a great actor.
That it's bad or that it's not.
He would be a really good pick for Spawn if we're making.
But he's not even the protagonist, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm much more interested in who's playing Twitch.
Yeah.
Because
supposed to be the protagonist.
That's the protagonist of the film.
Watch, it'll come out and there'll be nothing that McFarlane has said for the past 15 years. It'll be a complete
He'll
different
have
movie.
pages and pages of dialogue.
Yeah.
There'll
be like 3 scenes.
Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I've never really played a Pokemon game. I don't know if I'm just so impressed with the choices they made in putting that game together, or if so this is the new Pokemon game coming out on the Switch in November. I don't know if I'm just excited about how that's advertised, or excited about like good business and how that's advertised, or what. I'm so excited about that game. I don't even play Pokemon. I was really, really impressed with it.
I'm also really excited. In a everyone I knew that liked Pokemon, I had to be like, have you seen the trailer for that Pokeball? Is going to be the thing.
It is, yeah.
It will be the. Maybe not even the game, just the Pokeball will be the Christmas item this year. Well, I mean, Pokeball that you can put your Pokemon in that, away from the game, has sound effects.
Yeah.
And, people are going to flip.
Almost like a Tamagotchi or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And connecting with Pokemon
links
Go.
up with Pokemon Go, which is just what I thought they should do with it. I mean, that's so cool. I didn't think they'd be smart enough to do that.
No. This, I mean, remember, it's not Nintendo. This is the Pokemon Company.
Yeah, but it is Nintendo's game, which is why I kind of didn't think that they would do that.
Is this a Nintendo game, not a Pokemon Company game?
Well, it is a Pokemon Company game, but I'm just saying that it's on the Switch and it's affiliated with Nintendo.
Yeah,
I just didn't know that would actually happen.
Yeah. It would not have happened, I think, if this was a Nintendo-made game.
That's fair, yeah.
That's all I mean.
I mean, Pokemon Company's logo is in the trailer. I didn't assume that actually meant that they made it over Nintendo. I guess I don't know. Hey, but you're probably right.
Yeah. But no,
that is the first logo you see, so that probably is what it is.
It looks awesome.
And gameplay looks different from other Pokemon games.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm excited there's fighting. Because for a while I was like, is this not like Pokemon Go where there's no combat?
Yeah.
There's combat. I'm excited. I won't play it, but I'm excited.
The Crow, the Crow remake is once again not happening.
Which comes back to last Omnibus where you're like, it's further along than I think it's further along.
It was further along, though. It was.
I'm telling you, we've been here before.
No, we have, but this one was further along than it ever has been. You're talking about this like I want that movie. I don't. I'm glad it's not happening now.
Jason
or at least
Momoa
so far.
It was a part
Jason Momoa director Corn Hardy, they left that movie. Okay, moving on.
Wait, did you see the picture that he released? Where he was like, here's the Crow movie that we're not getting. And they released a concept art of like what his Crow would look like. And I was really interested because I'm like, he's such a big guy. I don't see him as Crow.
What'd it look like?
It's his face, but with Crow makeup.
Okay.
I was like, well, yeah, that's what I assumed that would look like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just curious about the, what do you call it? Body.
Yeah.
You know. You wanted to talk about live-action Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, they announced that they're making a Gundam movie, live action. I'm pretty sure it's American-made. It sounds like part of it is just because a lot of people reacted really well to the Ready Player One Gundam thing. They haven't told us if it's based.
That's the reason they're doing that.
I think so. I really, that was a testing the waters thing to see if people like me would flip out seeing Gundam.
Yeah.
We don't know what series it's going to be based on, if it's going to be based on any series or an original thing.
These days, that's a way to test the waters with things. I don't know. The internet has made things so interesting because you'll find out the next day if people are interested. You know.
Yep. I think I would imagine if it's based on anything, it'll be the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and that could be done really well. It's already been a trilogy before as animated films. I'm really excited for that. I'm wishing all the best. I really hope they don't read it. I hope it looks more like Gundam in Ready Player One than it does like Transformers. I hope they don't make it not look like Gundam.
Sony has delayed Silver and Black.
Delayed, I heard canceled.
I initially read delayed.
Okay. I want to say I read canceled,
but that might end up meaning canceled. I mean, I still don't think that movie's going to happen.
This is the internet, right?
Yep.
I may have read an article that read it as canceled.
Yep. But it's not coming out when it was going to come out. Regardless, they're not working on pre-production. Yeah, I'm not shocked.
We're all very sad.
Yeah, who cares? And it is, the timing is weird. Like just before Venom comes out, or not even. I guess a couple months before Venom comes out.
It sounds like they're real worried about Venom. It doesn't look good for Venom.
I don't know if that has anything to do with why this got delayed. It might not be related at all.
Or could have something to do with Sony selling itself off.
Yeah.
Maybe they're halting project or putting projects on hold until they figure out what's happening with that.
I I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that it sat there for as long as it did before it got canceled.
Yep.
Never thought that would happen.
Indefinite hiatus.
Why wouldn't you just make a Black Cat movie if you were going to do that at all? Like, that you wouldn't scoff at in the same way.
No, because it just feels like putting two arbitrary female characters from the Spider-Man universe. Just make a Black Cat movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that title's weird. It's like Silver and Black have anything to do with each other, really. You know what I mean? Like,
those characters aren't even intertwined that much in the comics.
No, they're not.
I also think you could make a good Silver Sable movie. I don't care about Silver Sable. I think you could make a good Silver Sable movie.
Yeah, I don't care about her either. But and when was the last time anybody did? When was the last time she was in a comic book? Like,
Ends of the Earth when Slott killed her. It's the last time I've read her.
Yeah, and before that, probably not a lot. Like,
me personally, probably McFarlane's Spider-Man.
See, yeah, same here.
I know she had an ongoing for like 2 issues.
That's not true, which, I mean, I've had in my possession, but never cracked it open, you know. No, I think she popped up in some 90s stuff that I read probably post-McFarlane.
She probably shows up in the Clone Saga stuff.
Once again, I talked about this on the Captain Logan show, but we'll let Eric weigh in on it also. Hasbro has announced more Power Rangers movies, not Power Ranger movies that are related to the last one. Probably.
They also have announced that it's not.
They didn't say for sure that it wasn't.
But it sounds like it's probably not.
But since then, I think, I read, I don't have an article in front of me, I might be wrong about this, I think they've also since said that they're gonna, that they do want it to be part of the Hasbro universe. I think they have said that.
Okay. Now. Okay.
Which is not surprising. I mean, that's what I figured they would do, but...
Sure. That's disappointing. I'm excited, but Hasbro hasn't managed their own properties well in film. Yeah. I want to believe they'll get it right. I like the G.I. Joe movies. They're not great. And they haven't been able to get this Hasbro universe they've been telling us about forever together, and now we're rebooting Transformers.
Forever.
Before... We announced we were rebooting Transformers before before the trailer for Bumblebee even came out. Like, I don't trust them. I want to. I really do. I believe that the Power Rangers comics could get better, and they will put it in better hands.
I'm not seeing an article about that, so that might have been a rumor. I don't know where I read that, but I'm not finding anything to confirm that they're talking about it being part of the Hasbro universe.
I hope it's not.
I would be surprised if it was.
But I'm also a little annoyed that they're doing. They have all these properties that could make great films, and they immediately buy Power Rangers. Like, we're going to make a movie. I'm like, okay, what about all of the things you've owned for decades that you keep telling me where's my Dungeons and Dragons movie? Magic the Gathering has been on the table for a TV show for forever. You own all these properties. I don't know. I have weird. I don't have great consumer confidence in them.
In other news, Solo is not doing great. Is kind of bombing, and
77% drop off in the second weekend.
And since then, we've learned that Disney is likely to lose as much as $50 million on that movie.
Made globally in the first weekend what they thought they were going to make just here.
All things being equal, it would have, if the exact same movie somehow came out and they had the original budget and they didn't have to do all the reshoots, and by reshoots I mean reshoot the entire film, it would have made its money back.
Sure.
It wouldn't have done much better than that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it still wouldn't have done great. But that's assuming that it was the same movie, because if you roll time back and Lord and Miller don't get fired, there's no telling what this movie would have done. I want to think that enough of it had to do with close proximity and Last Jedi not performing the way I wanted it, people wanted it, or excuse me, the studio wanted it to, and that movie being so polarizing, it still probably would have just broken even no matter what they put out. I still maintain it has more to do with the close proximity than anything. 6 months doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't even make sense for like a merchandising cycle. So at my work,
how little Solo merchandise did you see? They didn't put a lot out.
Well, this is what's really funny. Is at my work the next week.
Yeah.
So not the week Solo came out, the week after. I opened the box. We got all this Solo stuff. I was like, well, that's just gonna sit here.
Yeah. Oh, that's ridiculous.
We're on the ball.
Wow, what's that about? And how would you? I mean, they rushed it to get out in the original time slot. Why did they do that?
I don't know. And because they fired the director from Episode 9. Episode 9 got pushed back. Originally, Episode 9 was also... This was supposed to be a rescheduling. It was supposed to be Star Wars 2 this summer. Who knows why they would want to do that?
I don't know why.
But this was supposed to be rescheduling it, but because
Disney's competing with themselves at that point.
But because Episode 9 had that huge changeover, they pushed it back to being a December release again. So we're a year and a half out from the next Star Wars movie, and no, it didn't. None of this did Solo favors. Also, doesn't help that is the fact that the rumor that the lead actor had to take acting lessons, which I don't think is true, was one of the fastest spreading, most widespread rumors I've seen in a long time.
Do you think it damaged it?
I think it did. I met normal just people on the street that told me, well, what do you expect when your lead actor had to get acting lessons? No, like just normal people, like outside of the nerd sphere, like that permeated.
If that were true, because who knows, that would be very strange, because it's not like they found a guy who looked just like Harrison Ford and then had to give him acting lessons later.
And he's not nobody. He's acted before.
So that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was secretly Harrison Ford sitting down to lunch with him to tell him how to play Han Solo. And we know they met, but I'm just kidding. What did you think of the Bumblebee teaser? It looks like a movie, right?
It does. Part of that's because it's so small in scope. It looks like a massive course correction, which is
for a franchise that's about to get rebooted.
Yeah. Here's the thing. People are really excited about this trailer. It's kind of annoying me.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like a Michael Bay movie, but a little bit better. The designs aren't...
with some G1 designs.
The robot designs aren't good. They're just better than what Michael... Bumblebee's not bad. There's a Starscream that just looks like a Michael Bay Transformer, but they colored him right, and people are losing their minds.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, finally, Starscream looks... No, he doesn't. He's still just... He looks like trash stuck together, which is what Michael Bay Transformers look like. Bumblebee doesn't look as bad. It's probably the best design they've ever done. But that's not saying much. He's still a Michael Bay Transformer, so, like, it looks better. It's still not what it should be. It just looks better by comparison, right?
And they're still doing... they're still shooting a lot like a Michael Bay movie.
It looks
right?
like a Michael Bay movie.
I think so, too.
We are perpetually at the Miracle Hour, right? Like, this whole
I was going to say that.
Yep.
You still have Perpetual Sunset, and you've got that kind of lens flare, and yeah.
What this trailer tells me, if it tells me anything at all, is it's going to be like a Michael Bay Transformers movie, but maybe not as bad.
Yeah, so yay.
I'm not excited.
No, especially because now we're just waiting for the reboot.
This movie's probably going to bomb. Because the last one did really poorly, and this is just the last film in this franchise for some reason now. Also, it's not Bumblebee the movie anymore, it's just Bumblebee.
Which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if the movie helps sell it, except it just sounds so...
It's an 80s period piece, makes it feel more 80s period-y.
That's true, but it also just sounds so innocuous it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, I have heard from a couple of little girls who were originally excited because they thought it was a DC superhero thing, and were upset when it turned out not to be, because DC Superhero Girls is popular, and they thought it was that Bumblebee.
Remember that they're also suing DC about Bumblebee.
Uh-huh. Which is really funny.
Oh, of course they are, because their movie's coming out.
Yeah.
I hadn't exactly put that together.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's hilarious. Yeah.
No, that's why they're doing that.
People are acting like this trailer is like...
There are people who heard the title and thought that it was a DC movie.
Weird. But you know, people are acting like this is everything the Michael Bay movie should have been. It looks like another Michael Bay movie, but more reined in.
Yeah, I agree with that. Lego Movie 2 teaser?
I'm excited. It looks good.
Me too. It seems like the next logical step to me. Like, I wasn't surprised by anything.
No. It looks like it has the potential to be just as good as the first one, or at least in the ballpark.
We're doing, immediately they're showing us Mad Maxy type stuff and space stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they'll do some other, types of worlds too. But I like that. I really like the idea, and again, this seems like the next logical step, but I didn't know this is what they would do. I like the idea that the very next movie is the thing that happened with the Duplo blocks just like ruined their whole culture. I think that's really funny.
Well, and if I can speculate at all, I think we're a couple of years forward.
Yeah.
Because all the female stuff is definitely the sister, right?
Yeah.
And
I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
trying to figure out who's behind it.
Yeah, I think it's the
like
sister.
Who's in the real world manipulating it?
Yeah, I think the main antagonist is the sister.
Do you think we'll get a live action sequence again?
Yes.
I hope so.
I think we will.
They need to go there. I don't think you can step away from that like we did with Lego Batman. I think it still has to be very squarely about there has to be another story happening behind the story.
Yeah,
that has to be going on.
Which is why I think it's a couple years later, because she's like a baby, not a baby, but like she's a little kid in that first movie.
She's got to be at least the age of the little boy, or close.
Yes. So that's my big theory.
That's smart. Yep, that's great. I again talked about this on Captain Logan show last week. I went from kind of nonplussed to very excited about Into the Spider-Verse. I think that has real potential.
Me too. The big thing for me, there's two things. One of them's not in the trailer. The first thing is, if this trailer is being honest, it's a Miles movie.
Yep.
And I'm very excited. It's a Miles movie with other Spider-Mans in it. I'm very excited about that. Also,
and when you think about structure of film and stuff, I don't know how they cut that trailer together from a movie that isn't about Miles. Yeah. I would be very surprised.
No, I'm very excited. I mean, I still wish it wasn't a Spider-Verse movie, but I'm much more okay with it.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, no, same here.
The other thing that I'm excited about with it being Spider-Verse, the villain's Morlun.
Is it?
Yes. I love Morlun. At least the JMS Morlun. I like him.
Oh, I don't. So great, but
I'm excited. And I like that's not a stupid family. It's just that guy.
That's good.
You just read a comic book with him. You loved it.
Well, yeah, but I don't like him. Like,
I like Morlun.
I don't care. I don't like the totem thing. I've never liked anything about that. But
it's gonna be the totem's gonna be everywhere.
Yay! Whatever. I mean, maybe I haven't been exposed enough to it to have an opinion, but with what little exposure I have, I don't care. I don't like it, but I do care. I don't like it. But no, I expected that movie to be, like, kind of non-stop slam bang action, and it looks really smart. It looks really dialogue driven.
It looks like Miles' dad is a completely different character, which I think is hilarious.
I also was riveted with that trailer about the reverence for comic books as an art form.
Yes. Yeah.
Really surprised by that.
This
and like
could be
narration boxes, that's really cool.
This will be the film. I mean, it's animated, it's not live action, but this will be the film that finally tries the dangly Hulk thing again, right? Like, we will have panels.
Yep. But it won't be like the picture-in-picture thing. It will actually be comic book panels.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it may do panels, it may not. But I mean, like they're doing the onomatopoeia thing, and they're doing narration boxes, and I'd be surprised if you didn't see a word balloon.
Yeah.
No, it's really cool.
Yep. I'm excited.
And it felt, watching that full trailer, after a while, I had to remind myself I was looking at animation. It looks so rotoscoped.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I agree. I'm excited now.
With the teaser, I thought that would come out and it would maybe do okay. I think it has the chance at making a lot of money.
Again, there's another movie coming out in December that we talked about this the other day. I can't remember what. But again, luckily it doesn't have to deal with Star Wars.
Yeah. We've only got a couple minutes left. What else do we need to talk about?
Do you want to talk about the Halloween trailer?
Yeah, and we also need to at least mention the Comcast thing. That's really important.
Yes.
But go ahead and talk about Halloween, yeah.
So we finally got a trailer for the new Halloween movie, and it looks really good.
Amazing.
It looks really good. I'm really excited.
I kind of had chills a little, and I'm not even a big fan of that franchise.
I'm not either. I like the first film. Well, I like the first 3 films. And
regardless of that, the third movie's not a Halloween movie, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be an anthology franchise.
Right.
They just didn't do well, so they just went back to Michael. But yeah, and there's a reference to that movie, to 3. There's a shot where we see Halloween masks, and they're the Halloween masks from 3.
Oh, interesting.
And apparently the whole movie's going to be like that for the whole franchise. Apparently there's a lot of like little Easter eggs and stuff that are just going to be like fun little callbacks to the franchise. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
I think that's
it's not intrusive. You know?
Yeah, especially if it's subtle like that. I also really like the so is he your mom's or is your grandmother's brother? It's like, no, that somebody made that up. I like that. That's a fun reference. If it's not, if it's chewing your face, I like the idea of.
If
doing
that's just
a
a reference,
reboot
I also
that-
think it could be a plot point. I think it could turn out that he actually is her brother and she's lying. I don't know.
That could be too.
You took that as just a reference. In a trailer, it plays like a reference. I think it might not be. I don't know.
Okay. But I like the idea of in a reboot, kind of doing a tribute to the franchise past.
Yeah.
I think that could be very cool.
But it
for the
doesn't
people that
watch
care
too
about the franchise.
throwbacky. There's something about it where I feel like it could attract an audience, like a new audience.
I have already at work gotten phone calls with people asking me for Halloween.
See, yeah,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I think this could be a legitimately big Halloween.
I don't know if I
movie.
can. I don't know if I can perfectly describe what it is about that doesn't look too nostalgia driven.
Teeth.
I mean, it's just horrifying. It is something you've never seen before. Yeah.
Because it feels more legacy. I think. I think it doesn't. It doesn't feel like it has this like insane fetish for the 70s and 80s. It's
true.
It is not
It's a modern film.
It's a thing that's set now. Things happened in the past, but this is about right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's cashing on nostalgia at all. It just feels like people that like that franchise and that film making. It feels more like Creed, right?
I mean, it does. Yeah. No, that's true. Absolutely.
It feels like people that grew up with this franchise that really love it and want to do something with it.
There's something really provocative about seeing Michael Myers without his mask on.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And was surprised that I thought it was kind of gutsy 10 seconds into your trailer to show that.
Yeah. Yeah. I am excited. It looks good.
It's looking like, and this information could obviously change very quickly, Comcast may end up outbidding Disney. They are
For Fox.
to get Fox. Excuse me, it's late. They are bidding $60 billion to Disney's $52 billion, and I don't know if Disney will call that or not. Mm-hmm. But it's looking more and more likely that Comcast could end up getting that, and I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed because of the Fantastic Four thing. The bigger issue for me at this point, because I'm excited about Fox's plans for Fantastic Four if they don't get bought out. It's also possible they get bought out and they continue with that. I didn't think of this. If Comcast gets them, they will probably continue forward with the exact same plans.
Yes, I think so too.
If Disney gets them, they also could continue forward with the same plans, and then either fold those characters into Marvel Cinematic or not. I mean, a lot of people are just assuming that FF and Silver Surfer go there. Obviously, Silver Surfer and FF are not the only important things to consider with the whole Fox deal. It's just for this channel, that's the thing that people are most talking about, right? I don't know that that's a given.
Yeah.
Especially with the projects that they're planning, with the people that they're planning them with, and how confident consumers have gotten with Fox's superhero movies after Logan and Deadpool. I don't know that Disney, that even Disney immediately goes, yeah, let's scrap everything they're doing and put those in an MCU. Everyone's making that assumption. Can we make that assumption?
I think we can safely make that assumption.
Do you really?
Maybe not the Fantastic Four. I think everything cosmic that they have will immediately get the Galactus, Silver Surfer. We will see all of those very quickly. I think maybe the X-Men is the one that I don't know if they will fold in.
Yeah.
What they would do with X-Men.
I don't know how quickly it could happen. We've already had James Gunn say even if the deal happens, we're too far along with the story planning for Guardians 3. I don't know where you do it.
Okay.
It will take a couple of years at this point.
Okay.
I would think.
Maybe you're right. Well, and especially with who they've got on those films, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm changing my tune on this because the strategy is so smart if they go with what they're doing. I thought they were making a separate Doom and a separate Silver Surfer movie. It seems what I've read recently is that those will be in the same universe and they might be building to a backdoor FF movie. I love that idea.
And
that's
they're
very,
really
very
good
smart.
teams. Matthew Vaughn, Brian K. Vaughn, doing Silver Surfer, and then the Legion.
The guy from Legion, doing Doom, which is brilliant.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
That's what I want. But anyway, so the bigger issue for me with Fox is I think Comcast is too big, and Disney is also too big. But between the two of them, I think the lesser of two evils is Disney. I just don't want Comcast to get any bigger than it is. All cards on the table. I'm kind of that is a scary company in a lot of ways. I don't want to get political, but that is not a company I want to see acquire something as big as Fox.
Is it scary that they have the power to do that?
Yes, it is. Sure.
Yeah.
It's maybe it's scary that Disney does too, and I wonder because the reason Disney wasn't able to do it earlier was somewhat because I mean the negotiations weren't done, but there was the question of antitrust. Will Comcast have that same question? I don't know.
No, because they don't own other movie studios.
Yeah,
it's not a monopoly in the film industry.
Yeah, so they won't, and they'll be able to do it outright. Okay. Do you want to say anything about the second Predator movie or trailer, especially because I made fun of that earlier or brought it up earlier?
Have you watched it?
I did.
It looks like a Shane Black movie now. It looks like what you would expect to see from a Shane Black movie.
Giant Predator is silly.
Was there a giant predator?
Giant Predator is silly. Yes, there's a giant predator at the end of that trailer.
I totally missed that.
You missed that?
I missed Giant Predator.
Yeah, there's Giant Predator.
Okay.
That seems kind of silly.
I'll watch the trailer again.
I'm not sure why we're doing a Giant Predator. That seems a little bit silly to me. But
okay.
I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about it, except you're right. It does look more Shane Blacky. It looks like that sense of humor. It looks more jokey. I don't know.
It looks more actiony. But like a lot of trailers we've had recently, I don't have. It feels like we saw trailers for two completely different movies. Being a fan of Shane Black, I could see how those two movies are the same movie, but it does feel like we're trying to sell it to different audiences, or we're course correcting from the previous trailer.
Yeah, especially because it came out so soon after the last one.
It seems like the reaction to that first one was more lukewarm than they expected.
Yeah, like that would be why they did that, or at least I thought that was a giant predator. I might have been looking at that wrong. I don't know. We'll revisit it and take a look.
Sure.
Hang on, I'm looking at this right now. Yes, that's definitely a giant predator. Because like the guy, I mean, you can't see this real well, but the guy like aims his gun upward, and like I maybe it's just a perspective thing. I think that's a giant predator.
Or he could be standing on something, or
he could be standing on something.
It looks like he could be on like a balcony, and like a guy could be below him. He could just be like a tall predator. I was expecting a Godzilla size. I was like, did I miss something?
Well, okay, yeah, he's not Godzilla size or anything.
Tall predator.
He's
Still
a tall
predator.
He's a tall. He's pretty big though. I think of that as a giant predator.
Sure. No, I'm so excited. I don't think Hollywood knows how to sell a traditional.
They don't know how to sell
film.
this. Yeah. Look, even this person on YouTube titled their video "The Predator, Giant Predator versus Classic Predator." Okay, it's a giant predator. All right, that's going to be it for the Captain's Log today. We're going to move on now to the letters pages, and that will be a separate video, so continue on in the playlist if you want to hear some questions from our viewers and our responses to them.